Welcome to Stub Stories. I'm Sylvia. I'm that friend that gets you into shows, yet you don't know what I do for a living.
And I'm Ricky. I'm that friend that's begging you to come to shows with me for bands you've probably never heard of. Today, we're talking Alanis Morissette. Fabio, Sylvia, how was the show?
Muy bien.
So good. So good.
Oh, man.
This was show 16 for me. So
That's incredible.
This was my first time seeing her.
what?
Really?
Yeah. I think this was it was my first time seeing her.
I've never seen her. I was going to try to go when she played Boston Calling. Was it last year, the year before?
Yep. Last year.
Yeah, I wanted to try to make it to that. It just didn't work out. And she's kind of becoming one of those artists that, like, especially now where she's touring a lot, I'm like, I just need to do it eventually. So yeah, I'm jealous.
She was great.
Yeah.
The show was excellent. She moves a lot, man. She is a ball of energy. She's just like this little device just waiting to explode.
Content is hard to gather when you're trying to get her on camera and she's like,
she's everywhere.
Zone. Yep. That hasn't changed ever, I think, in the times that I've seen her. Because we were just discussing before we started the show that the first time I saw her was in 1995 at the Paradise. And
so epic.
And she did a cover, a Radiohead cover on that date. And by this club show, by the end of this tour run, it was called, I think it was like the Jagged Little Tour. So, and then it moved from clubs to then arenas by the end of it. And then Radiohead ended up opening for her by the next time I saw her. So it went from covering Radiohead to Radiohead opening for her. So that was pretty wild. And even in between, like I was remembering, like she likes to do like these weird offshoot shows. Like, so when she was playing the Orpheum, she would play like Faneuil Hall and do like a surprise pop-up show. Before pop-up shows were a thing for people, like Jimmy Fallon has those subway things.
Yeah.
Alanis was already doing it. She actually played for Ernie Bach at Subaru.
Ernie Bach Jr., you say?
Yeah, yes. Played there. And I was writing some of these down. And I saw her when she was at the BCN studios when she dropped in. And Fort Apache. Remember Fort Apache? That studio, the recording studios.
Familiar.
Yeah. She played 5 songs there. So I would be invited to these weird little cozy, intimate things. So, and then she played Mix Fest. She played the Kiss concert. She did a lot of radio shows. So when I say I've seen her 16 times, it's part of like other things too. It's like, oh, Alanis is playing. Doesn't matter. I got to go. Like even the Kiss 108 concert, it was, I had lawn seats. I didn't care. It was a fun time of like, rage dancing in the back to Alanis,
That's awesome.
And then actually now seeing her and meeting her, which we'll get into, and just getting to tell her how much Jagged Little Pill. Jagged Little.
We cannot talk today.
There's something going on this podcast today.
I know. And just telling her that, Jagged Little Pill, what it meant to you or me. So
that's cool.
Fabio.
That's cool that you like got to see her from the Paradise, all the way to now where she's, headlining Xfinity and her whole career, basically. That's really cool.
I also saw her when she was, not her, but Jagged Little Pill, when she did a lot of people don't know that Jagged Little Pill Broadway show started in Cambridge. And it was a theater in Cambridge, and it ran from like May of 2018 to like July of 2018. So that's when they first tried it out. And it's like off Broadway, you take it to these little theaters. And it was off of like, I think it was like at Harvard. I can't remember. It's like that theater.
The ART in Harvard.
Yep. So I went to see that. And then I saw it on Broadway, and it hit harder on Broadway because I know we always have this thing of like, we always talk about death on our podcasts. I don't know. It just creeps in. And I saw her the week after my mom passed away. And so everything in that, singing along, it was just like childhood, my mother, it was like this whole cathartic thing that happened. and then I've seen her in the traveling, but Jagged Little Pill with the traveling show that they do with Jazz. So I've seen it all, and Fabio's gone to that with me as well, and that was in downtown at the Opera House. So that was a fun night too. But
that was I remember when you originally told me, it's like, hey, we're going, and I really want you to see this. And at first I really didn't know what to expect. I really was like, really? Okay. Like I was kind of like, not that I didn't want to go, but I was just kind of like, what is it? And I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great performance. The music, the way that they spun it into the show, the screenwriting, I mean, I thought it was excellent. It was absolutely great. I was pleasantly surprised, and I thought it had a really strong message. And the way that they were able to put together, an actual storyline with what she has, in her catalog, I was just like,
Diablo Cody is just Diablo Cody's just brilliant. Yeah. Like she's just brilliant. And then obviously Glenn Ballard and Alanis's songwriting. I mean, it's not what you think when you're going in. You're like, oh, this is about the album. Well, it kind of is, but there's a story woven into it. But anyway, didn't mean to get into the Jagged Little Pill, but that's what made me a Janet. Oh my God, why are we talking about Janet?
Because it's Janet. Hello.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's what made me an Alanis fan. So, and then Fabio, we're on this roll this summer of meeting people, shows and meeting people.
We're like, I'm legit collecting them like Pokemon at this point. I gotta catch them all. So being able to meeting Janet and then now meeting Alanis, very different experiences, which we'll get into. Just also, I'm noticing that these people are all tiny. They're all tiny people.
Yeah.
Like Janet is tiny. Alanis is tiny. Like, is Hollywood small?
Big person, like they're big personas, right?
I'm not a big person. I'm not a tall person, big person at all. But like in comparison, like when you see these photos of me with them, I'm like towering over them. Like,
I am not towering over any of these people. No. And then I realize how tiny I am.
It's great to the ego. I love it. Great. But yeah, we had a really good time. Should we start from how did this start? Who came along?
Well, this started back in January. I think we planned our whole year, I guess, around things. So I guess the show was going on sale. My neighbor was like, "Hey, I want to go see Alanis. I've never seen her." And she's like, "We'll just make like a girls' day to go do it." And I'm like, "Well, I know some boys that want to go." So it grew from like 4 people, my 4 neighbors, to
shout out to the 4th floor in Sylvia's building.
Kearney Square.
Heyo.
Jen, Melissa, and Teresa. And then it grew from that to then Tony, Fabio's husband, because who's a big, Alanis fan too.
Tony was a big Alanis fan. Yeah.
Yep. And then his friend Jimmy, who's now our friend, and he's just an even bigger Alanis fan.
Yeah.
To then our friend Amelia, who was going to go, but she's the one who doesn't listen to our podcast, and then she doesn't go to shows at the end of the day. So then she dropped out, and but this time she had a reason for it. So that today was for that reason we won't go into, but it was a sad reason. And so then our friend Shay stepped in, and she, as you remember, she also stepped in for Vegas. So
as well,
she stepped in for Alanis.
Gotta have a backup.
Yeah, and then I forgot that when I saw Alanis on Broadway, I went with Shay. So we had both cried together on Broadway, and so I guess it was meant to be, right? Came full circle for her as well. So it was cool. And so from there it grew to, now I have VIP. Do you want to meet her? Cool. 8 people are going to meet Alanis.
It was a lot.
Yeah,
it was a lot.
And meditate with her. Yeah, we meditated with her before the show.
I was going to ask you, because I saw you guys posting about it. Did you know you were going to meditate with her, or was that I
certainly didn't until 72 hours beforehand. Sylvia's like, "Oh, by the way, were meditating with her. I'm like, huh?
I
Well,
was
my
always
neighbors.
surprised. Tell us all about this.
Yeah, I
need to
could have
know.
down.
So,
This
yeah,
is
my
not a
neighbors-
regular
Gotta
meet and
know.
greet.
No, was it? So my neighbors were laughing. They're like, "Oh, we're going to a séance." I was like, "No, that's my other Teresa," but she doesn't do that. Anyway, so it's basically we go into this backstage area. The lounge was okay. We won't go into that. And then they lead us back to the back of the Xfinity Center, which is usually I've been there before for Warped Tour and some other shows. Like I think Van Halen, I was back there too.
It's
And
literally the
shaded.
back of the building.
Yeah, it's shaded, and like Clay's been there too. Like it's where the
There's like a
He
gazebo
has to be a
thing, right?
runner
yeah,
there.
yeah,
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
little
exactly. It
gazebo.
was
yeah.
in
It's like
there.
the gazebo. It's a
It's very
backyard.
much like
Yeah.
It's like a backyard or like a small public park near your house.
Yep.
That's what it
Yeah.
feels like to me.
Correct.
back
Yep.
there.
That was the
So
vibe that we got.
Yeah. So that gazebo is what they put pillows out and just these rugs. Yeah. It just made it
Incense,
super
candles,
Yeah, made it comfy. Of course, we were first in line, so I was, Alanis would be sitting in front of like this group, and I made sure I was right front and center, like
That's awesome.
the nerd. And then I had people on each side of us, and then she led us through a meditation. She came in. I was like, first of all, like Fabio said, you look at her, you're like, oh yeah, she's short, and she's just a tiny thing. But she has a presence, right? So you're
Yeah,
like, it
absolutely.
doesn't matter how tight. I'm still scared. So, but she sat down. She was just like, "Thanks to everybody for coming." And then she read, she went through this, just get everybody to relax and just like and put your. I should say, even before this, you had to put your phones away. They took your bag, even your iPhone, your Apple Watches,
Watch.
everything.
Any kind of tech that you had on you was like put in your
Yeah.
bag off to the side. Security will take care of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then she led us through meditation, told us to close our eyes. Fabio did not close his eyes.
I did for the first 5 minutes, but then I'm realizing, like, wait a minute. This is Alanis Morissette. I'm spending time with this woman who I've listened to her music for years, and she's literally our yogi for the moment. So I'm opening my eyes, and there she is in front of me. And she's just like all namaste and centering us and everything. And I'm like, this is insane. I'm looking around. Everyone's got their eyes closed. I'm like, I am not meditating. I am taking in this,
I would
like
be doing the same thing.
right. Like, when like you do a meet and greet and you meet, like, you have like your 60 seconds or 90 seconds with that person. And then you have a photo and that's it. No, we had like, what was it? 10, maybe 15 minutes during that.
It's
meditation
15
thing?
minutes meditation. And then she went into a Q&A.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm just like, I'm going to take this in.
Yeah. But then I was asking him, I was like, when you kiss somebody, do you leave is your eyes open or closed? Because
God, no. Like, where did that come from?
This is like, it's like super personal. And he's like, I'm not going to look around in my brain. Like, it's like she was asking, look around your head and get to know yourself, like that thing. Just to
visualize your spine.
And he's
heart,
like, no, I'm going to look at you, woman.
The back of your lungs. I'm like, my spleen looks great. I get it, Alanis, but like, I just want to check it out.
He was such a creep. So it was very relaxing. It was the most relaxing backstage experience I've ever had, where she's, put your phone away, enjoy this moment with me, and let's talk. And there was, she had her people taking some photos and some video, it was very, very like a special moment with her. And then after that, she was like, okay,
Q&A.
let's Q&A. Let's do these questions, which some of them were pretty good. Some of them, all right. And then after that, they started lining people up to go. Then, there was no limit to the time being with her. I mean, there was probably 40 people, I'm guessing. So it was a pretty small group. And so, line up around the corner. Shay went before me. She bear hugged poor Alanis. And then, it's kind of funny because before, and she goes, "Oh, you're gonna cry. You're gonna be like dumb when you meet her." And I'm just saying, my photo came out better. That's all I'm saying.
No, but this is funny because that's what the expectation was for me to be. At Janet was crying and being dumb, but now it's quite nice that like the tables had flipped. Is like, oh, Sylvia, are you going to be crying and dumb?
No,
But no, she didn't.
no, I didn't. I had
And
a
neither was
whole-
I. Thank you.
Yeah, neither was he. But I had a whole convo with her. Like, I told her, I was like, it was 28 years ago that last time I was not here. Like, the first time I saw you at this venue was 28 years ago. I was 23, and she was 22 when she played there. So she's a year
Wow.
younger than I am. So, and she's like, oh my God. She's like, it let it sink in. And she was just like, oh man. And then we talked a little bit about Jack Kerouac, because she has a song called Big Sur.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a bonus track on her album from 2012 that was only released through Target, which is weird, right? And she's never sung it live. And that's, if you ask me, is there a song that you like to hear her sing live, would be Big Sur. It's a great song. There's a video for it too, and it's her driving in a car, very Jack. And I'm like, I told her who, I do some work for the Jack Kerouac estate, and I'm like, I can't even escape you and Jack's work. And she goes, is that a good thing? I was like, yeah, it's a very good thing when all my words collide. And she's like, she was just very nice and engaging, and she wasn't just talking to me just because I was there. She was very, inquisitive, asking questions, and it was very give and take, and it was everything I expected and more. And it was really, really cool. And she's dragged me in for the photo, and then that was it. It was great.
That's so cool. It's cool that it wasn't just like your typical like meet and greet, let's take a photo, whatever. Like getting to meditate with Alanis Morissette is so epic, and then having her be like so engaging with you guys after, like that's very impressive.
Yeah.
It's definitely up there on the package experience if you were to line them up so far for the year, because we got a lot of
year. Yeah, what a douche.
I'm just saying, within this year,
I mean, the meditation, it made sense of why she was doing it, because she said, when I was writing Jagged Little Pill and all these other songs, I was very angry, and I thought that by writing it, that's it, I'm healed. And she's like, I was not
letting it out.
I was not. She's like, I needed therapy. And she goes, she's working on some platform that with mental health and abuse and substance abuse and things like that she's working on with like art healing therapy type of things. That's what she's working on. And I'm like, if I didn't love you enough, I'd love you even more, that you're using this platform to now help others. And you're very honest about it. And that she also had struggles, right? And I'm like, well, yeah, I get it. Like, I had to go to therapy too. So, still do. Like, quoted.
I have therapy later today.
No, it's your Friday. Even I know when you go. Because when I wrote my post, I was like, I was an angry 23-year-old, and my friend's like, you're still an angry 50-plus-year-old. What are you talking about?
Like, you're just angry.
I'm just angry. No, I'm not. I think I've chilled out a lot compared to what I was at that age, because you start processing things differently and appreciating things, and life kind of kicks you in the ass, because you can Fabio's mentioning all the things we've done. Like, yeah, we do cool things, but we also get kicked in the ass a lot. Like when you're at your lowest of lows and you're like, why am I doing this? Like, people like to notice the fun things you do on social media, but they don't realize the tears and the bullshit leading up to that moment that it happened. Right. So
we're not posting that.
Yeah. I'm not posting sadness. F that shit.
Exactly.
If we could go into mental health corner here, I would say that even in the time that I've known you, Sylvia, like now is like you're at your kind of most like chill. I don't mean that in like a backhanded way or anything.
Yeah.
It's like, and I feel like, even for myself, like getting to a really good spot right now,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But there's a lot, and we know the highs and lows in the past 10 years or so that we've been working together,
Yeah, exactly. So, it's to say, yes, we'll celebrate the wins. So when you post stuff on there, it's because you're celebrating those wins hard because those lows have been so low. So anyway, look at us. We're getting really deep. Like we're having our own little thing. It's a deep
having
podcast.
our own little session.
For a bunch of people who literally
Stories.
can't talk today, we've gotten so deep.
Yeah.
I know. I'm calling Alanis Janice. Like
Any of our
Janet
listeners
and
have
Alanis.
any questions? Ask us. Clearly, we're able to help.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Our combined therapy sessions.
DMs open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
That's
No,
cool.
she was nice. She was good.
How was her set? Is it all the songs you expect to hear? Are there a lot of deep cuts? Like,
Yes.
nice.
It's the set list change, which I love for her. I mean, she's done, I think, 26 tours when I was like doing some research leading into this. And at one point they did a co-headlining thing with the Foo Fighters where she was bigger than the Foo Fighters at the time.
Wow.
And that's how like Taylor Hawkins was Janice's touring drummer. And they had met, he had met Dave during those touring days. They were acquaintance from, touring. And when I guess they were recording that, one of the Foo albums, and he was just like, you really want to join Foo Fighters? Like, you're with the biggest artists in the world right now. But he just wanted to be in a band, and Alanis was all for it. Go do your thing. But if you look at Alanis's early videos, like he was a big part of it. So
wasn't he the drummer?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep, the one who passed away.
Yeah.
My desk at work is the Taylor Hawkins. There's like a different drummer over almost every desk, and mine is Taylor Hawkins. And when I first started, like some of the younger people were like, "Oh, like you might end up moving over there, but like, like how do you feel about that?" I'm like, "Are you kidding me? He's like my favorite drummer of all time." And they were too young to kind of like fully grasp it, because then their minds are like, "Oh, it's kind of haunted." I'm like, "I don't think it works that way," and also. That's fine if it's Taylor Hawkins. Like, sign me up.
Yeah. I mean, he has that. I didn't know what his name was at the time, but I remember sitting at the time it was Tweeter Center, Great Woods Tweeter Center, Xfinity, it's all the same. But and just his lock of blonde hair, and you didn't see him. He was just doing his thing, and his son has that same thing. It's very unique. And I just remember seeing that, and then watching the video, I was like, oh damn, like this guy's good. And then when I didn't even, it didn't really follow his career. And then I see this guy on the Foo Fighters tour, and I'm like, wait a minute, that guy's drumming the same way. Wait, it's the same guy. So I mean, we didn't have the interwebs back in the day, so you can't look it up.
Couldn't Google it.
Couldn't Google that shit. Well, you could, but it wasn't what it was at that time. But yeah, her set list, I mean, she starts off with like Hand in My Pocket, which is the biggest hit, one of the big hits.
She opened with that?
Yeah. Yep.
That's so sick.
And then Right Through You, which is like, to me, always hits hard because it's about being a woman in the music industry. And it hits me hard a lot because, I work with a lot of dudes that are, I used to anyway. Now you guys, you're okay dudes, but like there's been some dudes that sucked. Yeah. Anyway, so, but she ended off with Thank You, which is that hit, which is, cool. It kind of like evolves, right? Where
it's actually one of my favorite songs by her.
Yeah. I think Thank You is where she's at right now, right?
Yeah.
She's thankful for all these things that she's been through and now trying to help others. And she's just very chill right now. And I'm digging this new era. So.
Of Alanis.
I know.
Joan Jett opened.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's so sick.
So we didn't get to see all of it because we
were with her.
We were with us. Yeah. So towards the tail end of like the meet and greet is when Joan Jett was on. And by the time we got out and we got like, our gaggle together to get to our seats, I mean, we probably got maybe like a good 10 minutes. 2-3 songs of her before she was done with her set.
Yeah, and obviously she ends with the hit, so you kind of heard like like that's what she ends with. And I think everybody singing along, like you see all these generations of people that weren't even alive when Jagged Little Pill came out. And that's what I noticed was like, okay, some of you weren't even here on this planet at this time. And now you're here. So it's really great to see, you know, that, you know, how she's evolved. But also, like, I know we were previously talking about Woodstock 99. She was like one of the only females that played Woodstock 99 artists that had like, you know, like a headliner type thing. So
was it like her and like maybe Jewel or something? I think, or Sheryl Crow. Might have been Sheryl Crow. I think there were only two like prominent female performers, and I think it was her, and I feel like it was Sheryl Crow.
Probably that, or and Jewel was big at that time too, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll have to do the fact check on that. So
fact check.
We've got Beth Hart was on there, and Bijou Phillips, Alanis, Sheryl Crow.
Oh,
that's what's coming up at the moment.
Wow.
When
how things have changed.
I was looking into like some of the tours she's been on. I mean, she's done 26 tours, right? I've been to most of them, but some of these
amazing.
Earlier ones I was not. She opened for Vanilla Ice in 1991.
What?
To the Extreme Tour.
Amazing.
Well, it makes sense, right? Because he's Canadian, right? Isn't he? No, that's Snow. He doesn't.
Yeah, Snow
Never
is.
mind.
Yeah.
Take that away.
Informa. No.
Well, that was another one.
Yeah. Never mind.
Okay.
Did anybody else play with her, or was it just Joan Jett?
Joan Jett and Morgan Wade.
Okay, I don't think I know who
he was. They were on.
She.
He was on first. She
was
not there.
Yeah. We didn't see her. Yeah, but there's two opening acts before her. She probably does that because of the meditation and I mean, because we were like 7. It was like 7 something. We were still back there.
Wow. Yeah, it was interesting going through Instagram that night. I knew you guys were going.
Yeah.
But I ended up having probably like 10 friends and acquaintances and stuff that were all at that show. And people who I literally would have never imagined at Alanis Morissette show. And everybody was in different parts of the venue. So I got to kind of like live it a little bit from different spots. And it was just really cool. I guess I didn't realize how many people in my life were like so passionate about Alanis Morissette. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah. We kept hearing folks say, "Oh, I didn't know she was still this big." I was like, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah.
I mean, she's the person that, you know, Chappell Roan, Taylor Swift, they've all cited as being inspiration to them.
Inspiration,
you know?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's nice.
Everyone's talking about and feeling like, you know, I'm a songwriter. You know, this artist is, you know, they write their own stuff, and we forget that, you know, she does. She always has, you know. So I mean, it comes from somewhere, and it's just I really had a good time. I definitely was getting my high school vibes back that whole time. I too saw a lot. Only after the show, I realized that I had a lot of people that I knew, 3 people from school, at the show as well. So, you know, we kind of like all reconnected, like, you know, through each other's comments or whatever. And like, you know, how'd you feel about it? What you liked, whatnot. And everyone just, you know, we just really enjoyed it. I definitely felt like there were times when I felt like I was 16 again. Because, you know, Jagged Little Pill, when it came out and how it made me feel. I mean, I definitely remembered instances in my life when that album was just, it just made sense. It hit right. And I realized like I really just wanted to take it in, because I filmed and tried to get as much content as I wanted, but at the same time I really wanted to be present for it too. So like I'm putting it down, but there were these just amazing moments where I just wanted to record it. But after the fact, I'm realizing it's like, when is it too much, you know, to like to record and take the photo and just not really take it in, kind of like at the meditation circle, right? Obviously we couldn't take photos or record or whatever, so that's something that we have, that we'll be able to cherish. And there was a point in time when you would go to concerts and you could just cherish that concert with everyone else that was there with you, and you had no, I don't know, recording or proof that you did.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that holds something more.
I'm like, gave myself a rule about this, which is it's the standard photo policy for first 3 songs.
Yeah.
So like when the headliner comes on, and I even, not because I think I'm going to get in trouble for shooting at the encore or whatever like that, but that's my rule when I go to shows. And I said, time to put the phone away and pay attention, guys. Like the guys in my head.
Yeah.
And
that's allow this to be for yourself.
Yeah. But first 3 songs, I'm taking a bunch of pictures and I'm posting them. And I tend to even, maybe I might post them like when I get home. So I'm just not staring at the phone.
Yeah. I've kind of gone through different waves with my like taking and making content at concerts like over the years. But now I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, like I'll take a couple photos and a couple videos, and then I won't touch my phone for, 10 songs, and I'll grab a couple more towards the end just to like grab a different vibe or a different song or whatever. And then I don't post anything until the next day, because I'm like, I don't want to be there like on Instagram. And by the time I get home, it's so late. I'm like, I'm not posting a video at midnight. Like, so I just wait till the next morning, and then I put everything up. And plus I can like go through and listen to see if the sound recording is even good of the video that I got.
You're like, I thought that was amazing. And then you look at it, you're like, oh no, that was not amazing.
No, yeah. Or like all you hear is me, singing Blink or something. So yeah, I need to adopt that same thing.
I need to adopt that, Clay. I clearly did not at Alanis. I felt like what I tried to do was get like at least 30 seconds of like every other song type of thing. I posted a lot, and
not as much as Tony, your husband, because that was a lot. He went live. I was like, put that away.
He went live.
He went live.
So it's funny because like even though I don't like to post during shows, I love when other people do, because I get to kind of live it. Like I love when you guys go to shows, because I'm like, fuck yeah, I can see what's going on. This is great.
No, I get it, and I think that's one of the things why I like, because I want to share it. I like sharing things, with people and experiences, but there's also something that takes it away from it too. So I get that. So it's interesting because since the show, Tony has been on like this even more so of an Alanis kick, and he's been watching like this documentary, and I saw him the other night watching it, and there was a scene I wasn't paying attention, but there was a scene where you just saw people like, I don't know, it was in the obviously early 90s, and just people like singing along to her and just being on top of one another and just being right there up on the stage. And it just gave me this moment of realizing like, you can't do that now. Like you're not up on the stage. You're not literally like
the barricades
over the other
different.
person. Yeah. Like there are chairs now, whereas versus there never were before. Like, people are just there.
Well, I saw her at the Paradise. There was no chairs there.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. It's just like, I don't know. They're just like this. There's a different feel and vibe, when, having your technology and being separated in a certain way for security reasons. I get it. But like, I don't know, just seeing this, I noticed that like we're missing something from like what we had before when we would experience, a show to what it is become now.
Yeah. I was having this conversation kind of last night with some friends who actually went to the I Am the Avalanche show that I wanted to go to.
Yep.
And they're massive fans of that band. And like, so we were like kind of catching up. They were filling me in on everything. And they were saying the first show back from like the break of shows during COVID, they saw I Am the Avalanche. And that band is, currently on their 20th anniversary. The audience is very much like, 35 to 55, like nobody's moshing and crowd surfing and stuff. And there was one kid that was probably in his like early 20s who was trying to mosh during that show. And the singer like knelt down and was like, hey, like, come here, dude. So he went up and he's like, look, like, I appreciate so much that you're obsessed with what we're doing, but like, read the room. Nobody else wants you doing that. And it was kind of this like, it was great hearing that.
I love it.
And I wasn't surprised because I was like, that's like his vibe. But it was cool to think about it where it's like, oh, you know, when I used to see that band or Vinny from that band back in the day, that would have never come out of his mouth because we were all, you know, 16 to 22. And it's kind of that same deal where like, you know, now instead of going to see Alanis Morissette at the Paradise, you're going to Xfinity Center, and the audience is obviously like, you've all grown with this person you've been listening to for 30 plus years or whatever. And it's kind of that same thing. Like, I'm going to Blink later this month where nobody's moshing at Fenway Park. You know, it's like I'm going with my friends who are bringing their 4-year-old. Like, you kind of grow with those bands that you used to go crazy and be on top of the stage for. And now you're like, let's like sit for a little while.
And actually enjoy it.
Yeah. And they sound better.
I'm going to mosh at Blink. What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah. Have fun.
Can somebody please get that on camera? I would love to see that. Perhaps a live. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'd never go live. I would go live for that.
Fabio has never seen
3-song rule is getting Sylvia on cam.
Yeah.
Fabio has never seen me in my mosh phase. He was a baby at the time when I was at the Palladium. When like kids now are like, yo, like we mosh, like get out of here, old lady. I was like, bitch, I was in there high kicking, doing all that shit before you were even born. So shut up.
Nice.
You're throwing arms.
That was never my my thing.
There's a pit rule though. If you're down, you got to help people up. You know, but I don't think they follow that rule today.
Decent. Somebody falls, help them up.
I've seen. Well, there's mosh pits. There's also the wall of death. So the wall of death, I wouldn't go in. Yeah, you'll see it. It's when two sides of the room come in and. Yeah,
I never did that.
Like opposing forces
would break.
Yeah, it's messed up.
That'd be blind.
No, you take them off. You take off your glasses.
I can't see anything.
Didn't you fight in school? You take off your glasses first.
The only fights I got in school were not my idea, and my glasses didn't make it out of those either. So I kind of learned like A, maybe I should shut up because I'm smaller than everybody else, and B, my glasses will break.
I don't think anyone that gets into a fight realizes like this is a good idea. No.
Yeah. I think he was the one picking fights.
No. I wasn't picking them. I was just really annoying. That's how it goes.
Alanis,
that's cool.
Good job.
So, did she when's the last new record she put out? I haven't followed.
I think 2022 was the last one. I think. I say let's fact check this. Clay. 2022. The Storm Before the Calm, which was the story of my life.
That's cool.
Before the Calm. So, but I heard like rumors out there is that she's working on a new album.
Okay. It'd be cool to see her kind of hit that, like, this is going to be a weird comparison kind of, but like that Dave Matthews thing where like you just kind of know that every single summer Dave Matthews Band's on tour. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Alanis Morissette could very much so like fall into that where it's like, hey, every June or July, there's going to be a day at the Xfinity Center where you can go see Alanis Morissette. She's going to obviously have a great, supporting band or whatever. And like, I don't know, because she does bridge those generations where she could tour forever and still see a packed house. Like
she could, but I think she's also in that state in her life where if it would be the healthy thing for her to do. Okay. Because she's all about, she's got what? Is it 3 kids?
She has 3 kids.
3 kids.
And she's married and the whole thing. And they just seem to fit well. Like I can't imagine being famous and try to have like a family and a husband who's actually a nice guy, which he is. Yeah. So, and he's a rapper.
A musician? Is he also a musician?
Yeah, his name is Solai. I think his real name is like Mario or something, but like he goes by Solai, and he's really good. He's playing some festivals. But he's so supportive of her, and it doesn't bother him. Where I think like sometimes, famous woman, sometimes that's not the thing.
Doesn't work for some guys.
Yeah.
And they get,
but also going back to your
He's
Dave
from
Matthews
Massachusetts. He's
Really?
he's from Sturbridge. Yeah.
Wow.
What?
Sturbridge.
That's wild connection.
Sturbridge
His name
Village.
is Mario Treadway.
Wow.
Damn.
Good
We
old
could hang-
Sturbridge.
We could hang out. I think is the only
I love
person
this-
I would ever know from Sturbridge, besides like the school trips they used to make me go on.
Yeah. I know a couple of people, but I live like 20 minutes away from there, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's
now I got to do a deep dive, because imagine if he went to the like Palladium, because he's like around, he's my age, or I think he's younger than her, but like maybe he's gone to Palladium shows. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm going to do a deep dive and figure this out and be a creepy person. But going back to the Dave Matthews comment, she opened up for Dave Matthews in 1999. By the way, yeah,
That's very cool.
yeah. I'm not a really big Dave Matthews.
Neither.
People, I have friends who are die hard. They love it, but it's just like it's not something I've ever gotten into. I mean, I like his songs, but yeah,
he's kind of that other person where like I've never seen Dave Matthews Band. I've never even like attempted it, but it's always one of those things where like maybe this summer I'll like, just do it to check it off the list. And then life happens and I'm like, nah, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
But someday.
I mean, I have to say like Alanis was good at packaging with different artists. Like in 1999, she did a tour with Garbage and was fair.
Oh, I love Garbage.
So
that's very cool.
Yeah. She's also opened up for the Rolling Stones. So, I mean, she's very versatile.
That's rad.
So, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Look at this.
Anyway. Merch.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have another question after the merch, but how was the merch?
Merch was good.
I'm wearing a blue shirt.
Nice.
Not black today.
You got the tote.
I'm wearing the I'm high, but I'm grounded.
I have that one too. This is our pass. Now we can show it because it's post show.
Nice.
We had to have 2 passes to get in.
I love that Fabio goes all out with the merch every time.
Yeah, it's my favorite
every time.
I love the merch.
It's like the unboxing.
So, I'm sure
unbox
everyone
this.
knows by now, I love me a tote. And this tote bag.
You like totes and programs.
Yes.
Yes.
This tote bag, I must say, is exceptional. One, it holds its shape very well. It's also got a zipper.
Will you please hold it up for the class to see?
A zipper on the tote. I kind of like that move.
It's really nice. And it's just really nice. It's good quality. This is good stock right here. We got some t-shirts.
And there's a tote within a tote.
There's a tote
within a tote.
A tote.
Whoa.
The best kind.
Incept tote.
Madness.
We should do a segment on our YouTube where it's literally just Fabio breaking down merch. Because, like, it's fascinating.
I love it. This is great.
Yeah, I think it would be great.
What else do we have? What else do we got in here? We got this great t-shirt. There's a lot of t-shirts in here. Between me and Tony, we got a lot of stuff.
Nice.
Triple Moon. There was Triple Moon Tour. That's what it was called. After
journal.
the journal, that's how. So after the meet and greet, they gave us the little tote, and they also gave us like a little journal, for us to write our thoughts and our feelings in there. And I just realized this too just yesterday, that these are Jagged Little Pill coasters.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't.
Awesome.
I hadn't
Nice.
opened. Yeah, it's a nice little coaster. So that's where it's gonna go. It's on my desk now. Oh, wait a minute. They're all different.
No shit. It's like the albums.
God damn.
This show is like 4 or 5 days ago,
Look
right?
at
You're
that.
just putting this up now. This is incredible.
I don't know which one I like more. I think I like this one. This one more. This one better.
Nice.
Reminds me of a disco ball. You know how I like it about disco balls.
I have
fun.
another question. Fabio, did you get the pretzel?
How's your pretzel?
This is absolute horse shit.
Tony.
This is dry. I don't even think it's real salt. I mean, this looks like
It's
it's
road
been...
salt.
Oh,
It's VIP pretzel. So
this is the VIP pretzel that I was waiting for.
Yeah, we'll well, I don't know if we want to review that pretzel. It's not worth a review.
Oh no!
It was bullshit pretzel. This is the second time too that we have done a pretzel review there at Xfinity Center. They need to figure it out because it is cardboard. It is trash.
My pretzel wasn't bad for Willie Nelson. So I don't know if I just kind of
Maybe
hit
it's
the
the
time.
stand.
Where was that?
If you go, yeah, it was the same venue. I went to the.
Maybe our
like-
taste buds are just very different.
Well, you're the pretzel professional. I am not a pretzel professional.
No,
I
this is
have had
bad.
meat. This was bad. It was
Alright.
it's pretty bad.
Even the color was off on it.
Oof.
There was two-toned on the inside once you bit into it.
Oh yeah, you don't want that.
I was like, I don't know, this is not right.
That's
Merch
that's
was
not
good. The
Anything
food
else?
was okay.
Where's your little laminate thing?
Oh, where are you? Just had it right here. This is the little laminate.
Nice.
And then
Is that
there
what
was a
got you
path
into
behind it.
the like?
That's for the
yoga
lounge.
The
thing?
VIP, the lounge?
That's the lounge. Oh, you attached one to the other?
Yeah, I put the sticker on the back side of the other one because it's the same thing on both sides.
Yeah,
so
but the
it's
laminate
up
is
there.
just to get you to the lounge. I call that the feel good
It's the
pass.
feel good laminate. Yeah.
Yeah.
When the
Warm
girl was handing it
fuzzies.
to me, I was like, "Yeah, it's a feel good pass," and she looked at me like, "Oh, she knows." And then the sticky, which is like less glamorous. This is the one that
That's the
gets
one
you
you
to
want.
a yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
That's
funny.
that's the one that's on your person. So
Yeah, and they're all like wearing them up here, like this is their first show ever, and I'm like, no, put it down here.
Yeah, I always go low, or I'll do like the hip, like I'll put it on like the thigh,
Yeah.
I guess. I
Yeah.
never do it up.
Thigh slap.
Yeah,
I used to get
And-
yelled at shows for that. Like
Yeah.
some
The-
security, like the older
They have-
security guys were like, "You
Yeah,
got to
they
put it
don't
where
like
I
it.
can see it." I'm like, you can
it's
see it
okay.
here. I'm not hiding it.
yeah.
I just don't
Yeah.
want it up here.
And the best part, besides Alanis and singing along, scream singing to all the songs, was we got to see Bridget from Live Nation.
Yay.
Bridget,
That's
got
cool.
to
Yeah.
see her.
Shout out
Lovely.
Bridget.
Shout out Bridget. Yeah, she was working the show, and she's like, "I need
Insert
a full
photo
review. Yeah, I need a review of the meditation. Thank you, full report." I was like, she didn't even know there was a meditation. She's like, "Well, I need a review right now, so we will." We just did it. We just did a review. I was like, it was amazing. It's probably one of the best experiences. That's very Alanis, right? It's not like it's a very personal thing. So I thought that was great. Yeah, can't say enough.
I mean,
good
every
things.
artist has that ability to make what they want that VIP
But some don't.
experience to be. Yeah, exactly. Some are just, it's just going to be a photo, and that it's going to be it. And mostly, rightfully so, that's what it is. It's either after the show, when they're tired as heck, and they want to do this, but they can't.
Tired as heck, guys. We're tired as heck.
Tired as heck.
We don't swear here. Tired as all shit. We're tired.
It's all hell.
All hell.
Or it's like, like her, she did it before the show. And I would think that that's probably harder because, time crunches and all that.
Yeah, but she also, if I was anybody doing a VIP, I'd want to do it because then after the show, I want to leave. Because I mean, I think she had a show the next day in New York. So it's like, gotta go. I've seen it happen. I guess it just depends on the artist. Oh no, here we go. We unboxing something else?
No. At the meditation circle. I forgot.
Here we
this
go.
kind of took me for
It wasn't a circle, but okay, keep talking like that.
Well, it was originally supposed to be in a circle, but everyone then moved their pillows into like this as close as possible to her. It was a half moon circle. Get it? Half moon.
Stupid.
Triple moon tour, whatever. So she comes out and she
I'm with
sits
you.
down on her pillow, and she was just like, and mind you, this was just the other day, and it's been very hot here in Massachusetts.
Mhm.
Like,
Oh yeah.
I think it was like 92, 93.
It's gross.
It was heavy humid. The humidity was just in the air. It was gross.
Yeah, I was afraid
And
for
we're
my
just-
photo and my hair.
Oh, the frizz was out of control. I could just imagine. But like we're sitting down and we're all just like sitting under this, this tent thing that's like, covered up, and there's not a lot of air movement, and we're all just like, this is not going to be cute. It's not going to be cute. And Alanis comes out and she makes this comment that she's like, oh, I hope you guys are, like nice and relaxed and cooled because, I don't like air conditioning. And I was like, what? I only realized this after the fact when Sylvia told me, which I guess is a good enough excuse. But
It's not an
she's like,
excuse. It's the real reason.
I understand, but it's air conditioning. She's like, whenever we're on tour, everyone asks me like, what bus or car is Alanis in, because I'm going to be in the opposite one because she doesn't do AC. And later I find out that it's obviously for to help with her voice, so it doesn't
dry out.
She belts out those songs. But I literally was just like, no air conditioning on that day. Like we were just sweating. It was just ugh.
Yeah, but then she's wearing like longish sleeves on stage, and I'm like, that's amazing.
She was bundled up. I'm like,
I was gonna ask you guys about that because that's the first thing I noticed when I saw like your post. I was like, it was
those
hot
look like
as
some
hell.
real
like
thick corduroy ass pants that she was wearing.
Yeah,
like this
But
long
she looked
sleeve
great.
sweater.
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
no, she looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was great, but I'm like, that's giving me more like late October vibes. Like,
you know
you
what's
should be
weird
wearing-
though? It kind of I don't know a whole lot about Alanis, but that look really does kind of. I don't think I've ever seen her in short sleeves. Now that I think
Yeah.
about it, like I feel like it is always like baggier,
Yeah.
loose fitting.
Well,
Yeah.
she was wearing a black tank during the meditation circle.
Okay.
And so yeah, she was, and her hair was just all over. It was a lot. It was not tamed. But that's her.
But her hair, like even if it's frizzy, looks amazing. And like I looking at like the photos I took of the show, I was like, man, if that was me, I would look like Chupacabra on stage, like just a melted mess. And she looked amazing. I was like, how is her hair just like? It doesn't matter if it's frizzy; it looks amazing. Like I don't know.
It's how we know her, really. I mean, she's just so.
I used to have that longish hair when I first saw her, which is hilarious because I used to part it down the middle. I used to be like long like her, and I was like, I hate everybody. And it's
Can we add a photo here?
I gotta find one that's like that.
Okay.
But yeah,
That's
my
Sylvia
hair was
approved.
like hers because I was just like, oh my god, she gets me. But I don't do that anymore. Now I'm like the Karen look up here with the shorter.
It's the
Speak to
cool
the manager.
Karen. It's the cool Karen Bob. That's what it is.
Yeah, I used to always say to my mom, "Why is your hair short? You look like a man." And now as I get older, I'm like, "Oh, I get it. I just don't want to mess with my hair. Like I just don't care." So that's where I am.
That's why I keep mine short too.
Yeah, sure.
My dad had long, like shoulder length hair, like his entire life up until he was 50. He hit 50 and was like, "I'm done. This sucks. See ya." And now he has like a really short buzz cut, and he's like, "It's the best decision ever." But my entire life, all my friends were like, "Why does your dad have long hair?" I'm like, "He's fucking rock and roll. I don't know. Like he's always had long hair. It's just how it was when he was growing up." And then he got 50. He hit 50. It was like, "I'm done. Don't care anymore."
Shit.
That's interesting. I never really thought of it like, people after a certain age would just like, I'm just going to go with like, the short haircut. We have a mutual
easier,
friend,
yeah.
Jerry. He's got his
Yeah.
long hair. He does his little man bun in the back still.
Yeah, he looks fine.
Looks good.
He
Looks
looks-
good there.
It looks-
Shout out to
looks-
Jerry.
Jerry. That's his name. Crabby.
That's his nickname that we have for him is Krabby.
I
Crabby
love that.
Jerry.
Now we have shout outs ever since we had that
Have to.
episode.
Oh, it's
2-week notice podcast. Shout out.
That's how we're gonna get people to listen to the show. Hello. Hey,
Give
we
him shout
mentioned
outs.
you
Yeah.
like 10 seconds.
Anytime I mention Amelia, it's about she doesn't like us.
Yeah, she just throws the podcast down to the bottom of the barrel, lower and lower. It's like,
If
nope,
our friends don't listen, you shouldn't either.
nope.
That's our motto.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
You're
if
gonna
it sucked.
start having membership episodes, and then they can pay to get shout outed on the show.
Ooh, that
Oh,
would
like
we
a
could do that.
Patreon like thing.
Yeah, but not Patreon. Sylvia will build it
Nice.
better.
Oh, great. Now I have to work even more on this.
Great, Clay. You're putting her to work more.
Shout out to Fangate.
Shout out Fangate.
Oh man, look at us. Who are we? I don't know. But anything else we want to talk about? All right. And on that note,
I need a pretzel.
I need
good pretzel.
A good pretzel.
I know I'm going to the show
Aromatic
tonight, but
pretzels.
I probably won't end up with a pretzel somehow.
What show are you gonna go see?
Elvis Costello and
Oh, yeah.
Daryl Hall from Hall & Oates.
Yeah, you going to
Oh,
MGM?
nice.
No,
We have tickets.
that one's on like Monday or something. I'm going to Mohegan Sun. It just
Oh.
worked out
nice.
like day of the week wise, and I'm going
I was
with
gonna say
my...
we have tickets to that.
I know, I saw that. And I was
We
like, oh, do I wanna go to
do.
Boston?
That's
Yeah.
right, because our giveaways page has
Yeah.
so many tickets to give away.
Tell us
Yeah, why
about
don't-
that, Fabio.
Yes.
I mean, if you
Giveaway
go to
page.
stubstories.net and check out our giveaways page, we have a plethora of shows that you can enter and get tickets to. It's
Maybe.
easy. Maybe. I mean,
Make
yes,
your
it's
own
maybe.
sub stories.
Yeah.
Stub stories.
I like sub stories. I like subs. I could eat.
I was like,
Sub-stories.
now you know we're hungry. 'cause
No,
we're like,
that's a
sub
different podcast altogether, and it's not
sandwiches.
about sandwiches.
What?
He's going to P-Town, so he's preparing.
Yeah.
Down here we come. Bear week.
Next time on Dong Stories.
Next time.
Dong stories. No, I would not be a part of that podcast.
How dare you? Can't wait. Yep. I gotta go pack.
Your stupid life. All right. Well, on
Oh,
that
man.
dumb note,
What an ending.
what an ending. Oh, listen. If you have a stub story idea that you want to share with us, that's not Fabio related at all to P-Town or
No.
that what
But
he's
if you
talking
do
about.
have a sub story, by all means.
Not a
share.
sub. Oh, well, yeah, not with me, but call Fabio. Yeah, just email at us. Email at us.
Info at
Stubstories.net. And I will do a dramatic reading of your email and
Of your sub story, too.
of your sub story. And Fabi's going to maybe have some stories from P-Town that I will do dramatic readings for.
We're not sharing those stories.
And it's going to be the greatest stub story of all time.
It's true.
Okay.
You can DM us your sub stories too. Instagram, Twitter, or what? TikTok. And we're everywhere. You'll
Yeah.
find us.
Yeah. Are you still Ricky today?
I'm still.
I'm still Ricky.
I have been Ricky.
Who am I, Ricky? Who am I? What's my name? Huh?
Pablo.
Call me by my name.
Pablo. I have no
Say my
idea where
name.
that even came from.
Mhm.
This has been the weirdest day.
I'm Pablo. I'm Pablo.
I'm Pablo.
Like
No,
as I
I
was
am
saying
Pablo.
it made no sense, and then it like fully came out of my mouth, and I was like, "What just happened to me?"
No more. Call him Pablo for the
incredible.
rest of the day.
Pablo's
All right,
It's always a pleasure to edit this podcast, I tell you that.
I know, poor Clay.
The sound bites are just tremendous. I could picture like when like one of us, probably me first, dies. That like we'll have,
This went so dark.
Why are we always talking about
First of all, it's
death?
gonna be
now
me,
we're like,
but go
now
ahead.
what are we doing?
it's
Like
gonna be
fishing
me,
out of a hat?
and then
Which one's gonna
Clay.
go first?
Clay's gonna edit sound bites, and it's gonna be like the most horrific things we've said on the podcast, and that's what we'll play during the wake. We'll be like these horrific things from the podcast.
I love it.
I love it. And
my
this
God.
is that's where it went. And I'm
If
Sylvia.
that's
Thanks.
if those are your wishes, just put that in there, and then
Yeah.
they will be executed.
Fabio's in charge of me.
That'll be like on your epitaph is like, if it sucks, cool. At least we tried.
At least I tried.
Dot.
It'll be on her
That's the
stone.
best. Be on my stone. Sorry, I sucked. I tried.
That's the best.
All right.
Cool.
Sylvia. Bye.
I'm Ricky. Bye.
Peace out.
And I guess I'm Pablo. Bye.
And Clay doesn't give a shit because he's like, fuck
I'm
you
not
guys.
saying goodbye. I can't say goodbye.
Nothing to do with this.
I don't ever say goodbye. It's only see you next time.
Nice.
Oh.
Stubstories.net. Hi, this is Sylvia.
And I'm Ricky, and we are Stub Stories.
Please follow us everywhere you listen to podcasts.
You can find us on every social media channel. Make sure you're following our YouTube, like, subscribe.
And check out our website, stubstories.net. That's it. Thank you.